According to most studies, the number one fear for most people is public speaking. Number 2 on that list is death. Think about it. Death, dying is number 2. So in other words, for the average person, they'd rather be dead in the casket at a funeral than to be the person who gives the eulogy at the funeral. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, most honored guests. That was a joke by actor/comedian Jerry Seinfeld. But really, was it a joke? How many people here probably can identify with that at some time or the other when they first started public speaking? Show of hands. Public speaking, we all know it. The terror, the drama, the tragedy that goes along with public speaking. But it doesn't have to be that way. And tonight, I would like to offer you hope. I would like to offer one suggestion that will help us to improve as better speakers. And that is finding humor in yourself. Find humor in yourself. And no, I'm not talking about becoming the next great stand-up comic like Ricky Gervais. I'm not even talking about becoming the next motivational speaker like a Zig Ziglar. But what I am talking about is finding humor in yourself. Learning how to laugh at yourself. Now, there's a quote that I looked up that says, laugh at yourself first before anyone else can. Laugh at yourself first before anyone else can. So is it saying that if I start laughing like I am now, that people won't laugh at me when I'm speaking? I don't think quite, but maybe they will, because it'll like, why is this guy laughing? And it'll be kind of weird and people will be concerned about you. So it may be right there. But I really think they meant there is that you first have to learn how to laugh at yourself. That includes the mistakes that you may make. That includes the positive things that's going on. Whatever happened around you, you have to learn to be able to laugh at yourself. In the book, Scared Speechless, there's another quote that goes, we tend to find error in We're accepting of error in others, but we're unaccepting of our own errors that we make. And that's very important there, because a lot of times we beat ourselves up so bad when we ourselves make those errors. We become so down on ourselves about making those errors. And I'll go into my own personal story. When I first joined Toastmaster, and I can remember it as yesterday, and it was time for me to give my icebreaker speech. And I remember Mike Russo said, practice, because next week you're going to be standing up here in front of the room. So myself, I went home, I said, I should be able to get this. I can plan this out. So I came up with my own brainstorm cluster here with me in the middle, and then I started going different directions. Okay, childhood, teenage years, adulthood, where I'm at right now. Now, this should be pretty easy. Boy, was I wrong. So when I came to the meeting that Wednesday night, and I could remember sitting here, it's like, okay, you can do this, Charlie. I walked up, when they called my name, Mr. Russo said, let's give it up for Charlie Cheatham. I walked up around the room, I came up here to the lectern, and I don't know, it was about 15 people when I was sitting down, but when I came up, it seemed like it was 1,000 people in this room, and I was nervous. So it started out, I thought good, I said my name, I think I got that right. I said Charlie Cheatham is my name. And from there, I think I went straight to an adult out of my mother's womb. Then I went back to a baby in my mother's womb. I don't know what direction happened, but something happened there. And I felt horrible. And I knew I was messing up. And during that particular speech, I learned a lot about myself. And I said, you know what? This is tough. And on that level, I understood why they actually call it an icebreaker speech. Because the ice definitely cracked open, and I fell through the ice and drowned in my own speech. So it wasn't until I got home and a few days later that I learned an important lesson. I was like, how can I mess up on a speech about myself? I mean, a guy on the street probably could have did a better job describing me that night. So it wasn't until about 3 days later when I started reviewing and saying, where did I go wrong? And I found it kind of funny. I actually laughed. I said, man, you messed up pretty bad on your first speech, and you bombed it. But I learned something that I was able to laugh at myself, and that was very important, because the next week I went in with a different outlook on giving a speech. I wasn't so serious. A lot of times we get so serious when we speak. We're so controlled, like, okay, you know what, I'm going to give them the eagle stare. Or, you know what, I want the temperature in the room at 78 degrees, Mr. Fisher, 78 degrees. Or, testing, testing. Set it back to the original default settings. We want everything to be so perfect around us, and that's not always the case in life. There are so many factors that can come into play, so we have to learn how to laugh at those situations when those moments arrive. Another quote that I would like to leave you with is, when you grow up today, you have your first laugh. You grow up today, you have your first laugh at yourself. So that's the day that you grow up. So I encourage everyone tonight, take the time out to laugh. When things are going wrong in a speech or whatever's around you, take those moments to laugh, because in those moments, it will help you to become a better speaker. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much.